Overwatch 2 just released, and I'm sure some of you are aspiring GM DPS mains and want to see which character you should pick because there are a lot, especially since you chose to play DPS. To put this list in perspective, DPS is my main role, which I have thousands of hours on, so I guess I kinda know what I'm doing, or I'm just a gold border virgin, but forget that, let's get started. Out of all 17 DPS, the hero taking the spot for easiest has absolutely got to be Soldier 76. Playing Soldier is basically playing COD, so transferring from any game to playing 76 is not that hard, and can give you the chance to learn about other heroes' mechanics while playing him as well. I mean, literally all you have to do is point and shoot, and if you take damage, you can place down his healing ability. He is super straightforward, even with his ult, which is just aimbot, it does all the work for you, so yeah, he's definitely the easiest. Next up is Reaper. Once again, like Soldier, Reaper has shotguns that are hit scan, and you really just have to try and get up close as him. The hardest part about using Reaper is using his two abilities, Wraith and Teleport. The timing to these abilities is crucial to playing Reaper, especially when utilizing his ultimate, which is also pretty easy to use. So just learn correct timing and you can play Reaper. Bastion is next. I mean, seriously, you literally just roll around mowing people down. His ult just needs good placement, and other than that, there's not much to him. Very simple hero. At this point now, he's not in the game, but hopefully he gets added back soon. Right after Bastion, I'm going to have to place Torbjorn. Just place his turret down in a good spot and you're kind of set, especially depending on the rank. His ultimate is not very hard to use either. If you have good placement with it, it can be very simple to use, especially when comboing with another ultimate, it's really easy. Now, just because a hero is easy doesn't mean they're good either. I really don't think Torb is a good pick most of the time. Really just depends on the situation at hand and the rank, to be honest. So I'll let you guys be the judge of that, but yeah, Torb is pretty easy. Pharah is going to be another hero which I really don't think is mechanically that hard, especially since she does splash damage. She is on the easier side if you have Fair Mercy, especially. She is very easy. I would honestly say the hardest part of her kit is her ult placement. Because her primary fire is splash, it's really easy, and deciding when you can use her ult and not die immediately as you press the button is honestly the hardest part of her kit. And splash abilities are always going to be easy to use, so not one other person can convince me otherwise that this is where Pharah belongs on this list. Junk is up next, and the reason he is towards the middle of the list is because I do think you can get value with Junk, but since he is projectile, it can be a little bit more difficult. Then again, you can use him and spam down a choke, so yeah, it's conflicting for him whether he's really hard or really easy, but it isn't very hard to get value out of him. His ultimate Riptire is fairly simple as well, and if you're in a lower rank, it becomes a lot more powerful since no one can aim to hit it. Symmetra is after Junkrat, and I know a lot of people are going to be mad about this, but let me bring my case before your angry comment. So Symmetra is easy mechanically, but she does take a lot of brains to get value out of, especially if you are playing on a bad Symmetra map and playing with a bad Symmetra comp. Now, I am not praising Symmetra mains, you guys are all still stupid, but I do think that she is a hard hero and to like consistently get value out of. So yeah, there it is. Kill me in the comments, go ahead. Mei is going to be next. A lot of people think Mei is really easy, but you do still need to be smart with her abilities to do well in a high rank, which is why I wanted to place her here. Her wall can be used in so many different ways, and if you are bad at using that and her ice cube, you could so easily throw. But her main ability does not need to be the most mechanical aim out of all your selection of heroes, so I do really think she is middle of the pack when it comes to easy or hard. Sojourn is up next, and I think this is the perfect spot for her because she has a fairly simple ability and kit, but it is pretty hard to get use of because you have to be good at aiming to use it. Sojourn gets bailed out a lot by her slide, along with her disruptor shot, which does a lot of damage. Throw that thing in a choke with a mortar damage orb and you're set if you have enemies pinned. Her charge shot is on the harder side to use, and if you don't have at least okay aim, there's no value coming from her ultimate, so this is why I think it's a good spot for her. Next up is Ashe, who I think is a little bit more aim intensive than Soldier, to be honest, which is why I consider her harder. Using Dynamite can be tricky for a new player, along with knowing good timing to use her coach gun. Her ultimate kind of does all the work, which is an easier part of her kit, but really, honestly, the main reason she is this low on the list is because of how aim intensive she is, and without smart use of the coach gun, there's almost no escaping a dive from a monkey or a diva. And right next to Ash is going to be the other cowboy, who I would have marked as way easier if he still had his stun. But he is a lot more aim intensive now that he lost that. He still does a good amount of damage, and his grenade is okay, so he is still viable. There is no reason for him to be lower or higher, to be honest, coming from someone who mains him. He has become a lot more intense to play since he can't get his stun and get out. I would have placed him way easier on this list if he still had his stun, so because of that, I'm just gonna leave him here. Hanzo is right below Kree simply because he is projectile. I think Hanzo has such a high skill ceiling with the power and his normal primary fire that he has, and it is pretty hard to hit, but then again, you can just shoot it in a crowd of people and possibly get a kill, which puts his I'm a hard hero points down by a lot. His ultimate can't just be used and kill the whole team unless there really is a grab or some other ability to help him out and pull the enemies in, so it does take a little bit of thinking when using it. Storm Arrow also takes aim. As cheese as it is, you can't use it easily if you want to be precise and hit every shot. You do need good aim. As much as a lot of us don't want to admit that, it's true. Now this next one I know is going to get some people angry because of how high I have her on this list, but here on top 5 I am putting Echo. Echo is a very powerful hero, and her abilities can be used in very great ways, but if you don't know how to use them, she is almost useless, which is why I think she's hard. She's also a projectile hero, which makes her primary and damage bombs a lot harder to hit for the average player who doesn't play Overwatch, so she is definitely on the more difficult side of things. Her beam is good if you know how to use it, but if you are just wasting it and don't have good aim either, she can be close to throwing as a pick, especially if the other team is running double hit scan and you don't have a mercy or something helping you out up there. Sombra is going to be next. Now, right now, she is kind of cheese, but this is an easy to hard video, not a most powerful to least powerful. Sombra mechanically and mentally is hard to play. There's a lot to think of when you're playing as her. Using her hack on the correct targets, knowing when to get out, go in, or stay in is what makes a good Sombra player and makes her so hard. Securing kills as her is important, and if you don't have the aim to do that quick, you will be getting zero value out of Sombra. Keeping watch of all the health packs as well is important because they can be a factor in whether you secure a kill or not, so that is another thing to take into case when it comes to playing Sombra. So that is why Sombra is posted up at number 4. I really hope I made a good case because I thought about this one a lot especially. We are now on to top 3, and number 3 is going to be Widowmaker. This one is self-explanatory. She is one of the most mechanically strict heroes in the game. It's simple, if you don't have good aim, you will not be good at this hero, and she's very hard because her sniper is the main part of her kit. She has her primary fire, but does it really do anything? No, it's really just for finishing off targets if you're up close. But if you do have good aim, you will dominate with her, which is why I think her skill ceiling is high, and it's important to keep her high on this list. I've seen a lot of people in other lists place her on the lowest actually, just because she takes good aim, but I feel like people don't realize how hard it is to actually play Widowmaker, especially if you don't have good aim, so that's why I'm going to put her here. Number 2 is going to be Tracer. I've played Overwatch for many years, and I've probably seen about 3 good Tracer players, just because of how strong she is and hard to use. She is a huge vulnerability if you don't know how to play her correctly and use her blinks in a smart way. One tiny mistake as Tracer could change the course of the entire game and throw something so easily. Tracer is just one of those heroes that I think is really worth learning as well, just because of how powerful she can be in the right hands, but you could have 5,000 hours on Tracer and still suck because of how high her skill ceiling is and how hard it is to actually use her and get value out of her. Her ultimate, Pulse Bomb, it's a very simple ability at hand, you just throw it and it blows up, but it is very hard to consistently stick Pulse Bomb on targets, so that is why she's going to be number 2. Now we have finally made it to number 1 on this list, and I'm sure the most experienced players would have guessed this one, Genji. Genji takes the hard parts from most kits and puts them together in his. He's a projectile hero, which automatically makes him more difficult to play than most. Along with that, he's consisted of the heroes in the lower health pool, making him a huge vulnerability off of a few shots, just like Tracer. In my opinion, Genji has the high skill ceiling in the game. With his ult, which is hard to use, his dash, which you need to use correctly or you will throw as him if you don't know how to dash in or dash out, which if you master him, makes him a very good pick if you know how to use these abilities. He is countered easily as well by heroes like Winston and Moira, which also makes him generally harder to play since he has so many counters, unlike a lot of heroes, especially now since there's not a lot of stuns in the game. So yeah, there it is. Genji is number 1, the hardest hero to play in Overwatch. What do you guys think of my list, and what do you think is the easiest and hardest DPS? Let me know in the comments below.